Hi everyone, today's video is one that's really exciting to me. It's actually something that I posted quite, like 3 or 4 days ago, and it's a will I buy it. And the whole point of this series is to talk about will you buy different items. And so what I've done is I've gone on to Trendmood pretty much every day, and I've made, let me just show you, a cute little album in my cell phone called Will I Buy It. And so I got this idea 100% from Samantha March here on YouTube, and I'll link her channel down below. And like I said, all of these pictures are from Trendmood except for one, and that's from the brand's website itself. And she does one every single Wednesday, and I was like, well, I don't know, I don't want to commit to doing one a certain day of the week, so what I'll do is I'll just wait till I get about 10 different items that I want to talk about, and then we'll make a video. Well, that didn't take very long at all. So let me know how often you want me to do this. I had 10, and then, there's so many things being released right now. So let's just go ahead and get into it. We'll talk about each one of these items. I think I ended up with 13, just because of how things worked. So the first one is the Urban Decay Troublemaker eyeshadow palette. So if you follow me here on YouTube, then you might know I just posted a review of the Troublemaker mascara, and it's also a giveaway in case you haven't entered. I'll go ahead and link that below. I do like the mascara okay. Well, I guess this is based on the mascara. I don't really know, but it's a 9-shade eyeshadow palette. Well, it's got 9 pans, and then it has this little double thing. I don't know if it's called the same thing, but they had this in the Urban Decay Pulp Fiction palette, so I'm assuming it's probably the same. I don't recognize any of these other eyeshadow shade names, but pretty much it looks like you get 5 mattes and 4 shimmers. Or, I guess 6 mattes if you want to count both of those as, and 4 shimmers. So, there it is. You get this really pretty red, which I like. I don't know why, but I am so drawn to, green eyeshadows, and that one's called Bankroll. I really like that. After Hours, I can't really tell it. Is it just a gray sparkle or what? But it might be a duochrome really sparkly shade, but it looks just kind of like gray shimmer. All in all, though, I'm not going to buy this. I really like that green eyeshadow, but it doesn't fit with the rest of the palette to me. Okay, I'll wear that green, and then what else am I going to wear with it? I could do green and red for Christmas, which, I'm all about that. But you can't wear that every single day. I don't know. And it just doesn't seem very exciting to me. I don't look at that palette and think, wow, I can create a bunch of looks. That looks really fun. I just look at it and go, well, alright. So, no, I'm not going to buy that. I also wanted to say, because I don't believe I said it last time, just because I say I would buy something doesn't mean I'm going to. Because I can't buy everything I would like to. Wish I could. Clover palette by TooFaced. They've been hinting at this palette for, I don't know, probably 6 years or something like that. Forever. And it is in the style of their TooFaced Chocolate Bar, Sweet Peach, etc. It's got 18 different eyeshadows. There we go. This purple, what is that called? TooFaced Mascot, dying for it. I like that yellow, that pink, that blue. We have a bunch of mattes that I feel will really help round out a look. I feel like this cool mauve pink shade is gonna look really interesting on the eyes. Another green. This is I think it's gonna be one of those blue-brown duochrome shadows. So all in all, I'm really inspired by this. I'm also really inspired by this theme. I know that that's packaging and just kind of extra, and a lot of people don't really care. I do, honestly. I just like that. And it's all about his dog, and some people are like, okay, dude, get over it. Hello, my channel is called Becky Loves Kanga. Where is she? I don't know where she is right now. Oh, she's laying down. Do you see her little face? No. Wait, watch this, watch this. There she is. That's her cute little face. My dog. I love Kanga, so I'm about that as well. It actually happened to just release today, this palette. And on their release date, they donated $250,000 to some animal charity. I can't remember the exact name. But that's cool to me. I feel like TooFaced is everyone's favorite brand to hate right now. I'm about that. So much so. So, yes. And not only will I buy it, I have bought it. I bought it when it came out. I wanted it so bad. So, there you go. This is interesting. This is from Beige Cosmetics, and it's the Shaan XO palette. So she came out with a palette before, and it had these 9 shades, and on the other side were 9 lipstick shades. So what they've done is they come out with the remix. I don't think we have a price, no. And it's got these same 9 shades, and then on the other side, it's these 9 shades. My eye is immediately drawn to this hot pink called Baby Girl. That purple looks great. I like that red a lot. So we have a very much of a warm tone side, and then more of a neutrally side. I like this. She swatched it right here, and they look gorgeous. But I think I'm going to pass on this one. I don't know. I'm really tempted by this because I just think that is a really cool idea. I think it's different without being stupid. You know, if you watch my last Will I Buy It, the Urban Decay palette with the mirror inside, I just think that's dumb. But this, you're not wasting space. That pink shadow really speaks to me, but if we're being honest, I know I have quite a few pink shadows like that. The more neutral side, it just looks okay to me. It doesn't, like, really get my fancy. So I like it, but it's just not quite unique enough for me to buy. So I don't think I'm going to purchase that. Next, I've got 2 pictures of this. This is the MAC Snow... Is it called Snowball? Yeah. Snowball Collection. So this is their holiday collection for this year. And it's got this beautiful gold packaging. We have this giant lipstick set for $69. The packaging is beautiful. And they have this really cool imprint. I don't think I have a good picture of it. But the imprint is actually a snowflake. Really neat. But the colors are boring. Like, if you look at these eyeshadows, they're just a bunch of neutrals. Yes, the packaging is really pretty. I bet this formulation is super nice and metallic. But, like, do you need another copper? No. Especially not in single. I am tempted. They had some pigment sets. But every other year, they've been 4 pigment sets. And there's only 4 pigments included in the set. And I believe it's usually $25. This year, there's 3 and it's $29. So they increased the price. I want to swatch those in person. I'm definitely not going to order them online. But for the rest of this palette, this collection, I'm not inspired by it. This, I feel like, is a really great deal. And I feel like a lot of people are going to purchase it. Especially because there's some colors in here that you can only buy in the set. But here's the deal. You're not going to use, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. You're probably not going to use all 12 of those. And honestly, you're never going to use them all up. So to me, it seems like a really good deal, but I really feel like it's wasteful. So no, I'm not purchasing that. This is by a brand I've never heard of, but I'm always down for trying new brands. I feel like we get so focused in on the Sephora brands, the TooFaced, the Tarte, the It Cosmetics, the things that we know so well, that we kind of get in our own little block. And I feel like both Ulta and TooFaced right now, both Ulta and Sephora are doing a really, really great job at this moment of trying to incorporate newer brands into their selection. And personally, I really appreciate that. So I'm about that. This is by the brand called, oh gosh, is it Nabla or Nabla? I don't know, N-A-B-L-A. And they're coming out with this new palette. It's 32 euros. I wonder if you can buy it in America. I didn't even think about that. I don't, And it's a really cool concept, I feel like. We've got what looks like 6 mattes and 6 shimmers. This purple shimmer, Delirium, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's got some pinks. It's definitely like a warmer tone palette, but with some purples, which I like that. I feel like purples are that color that most people will wear because it's so flattering on so many different eye shades. And then we've got swatches, and this is what changed my mind. Again, this purple in the palette looks beautiful. And then you go down to the swatches, it looks like it's going to turn up black on your eyes, y'all. I don't know. The swatches look beautiful, but once I saw it swatched, I'm just not inspired. That shade Senorita, this cranberry shade right there, I do like that one. But again, being realistic, I probably have some things like that. I've already buying quite a few things, I know. And so even though I do like this, I like the idea of trying out a new brand. I just don't think it quite hits the mark for me. Zoeva. I want a Zoeva palette so badly. Kind of similar to the Juvia's Place palette from last Will I Buy It. I want to buy a Juvia's Place palette. I do want to buy a Juvia's Place, but also a Zoeva palette. I've heard really great things about them. And they're generally not too expensive. They're about $25. And they just came out with this one's the King's Guard. I believe so. No, excuse me, Queen's Guard. Sorry, they don't have a king right now. And here are the Shadow Collection. So it does come with 12 shades. This light blue right here, isn't that beautiful? But I will be honest, I have quite a few light blues and they almost always disappoint me. Another red that's quite pretty. This purple is very shimmery. It looks like it would be great. But it doesn't look cohesive. Like, I don't really know what I could do with all that. Like, it looks pretty, but I don't think I can come up with a look for that. Also, I'm just not I'm like 70% there, but for me to buy something, I want to be like 150% there. So I think that even though I'm kind of intrigued by it, I'm going to have to say no for this one as well. But if you've tried Zoeva, however you want to say it, please let me know what palette you recommend. I like color. I like things that are a little bit different. I'm not like super opposed to a neutral, but in general. So I want a Zoeva palette, but not this one. Urban Decay is coming out with Vice lipstick palettes. And they're coming out with 3. We've got, and they're by Patrick Nagel. I don't know. I guess it's a collaboration with another artist, which is cool. I'm about that, you know. Whatever floats your boat as far as that. But here's the deal. Like, who uses a lipstick palette unless you are a professional makeup artist? Now, this pink sparkly shade looks cool, and that purple shade looks cool. But generally, we have a lot of nudes here. A lot of things that you probably have in a lipstick bullet. Are you really going to use this palette? More than likely not. I don't know. Maybe if you love Patrick Nagel and like this art, maybe, I guess this is his art, I would assume. I don't know. I'm honestly not very familiar with him. I'm not very familiar with most artists. That's not really my world. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not trying to be shady, whatever. That's just not my world. But they don't do it for me either, so no. I don't think so. This is exciting. This is the Wet n Wild new highlighter palette. It's $14.99. This is their Mega Glow highlighter formulation that everyone and their mother has been talking about and saying it is amazing. So immediately I was like, well, alrighty then. And this is a more colorful one. We have a pink, a blue, a green, and a peach. I was intrigued. And then we've got these swatches up there. Now, I did in my recent video of items I will never buy, I'd say I'd never buy a highlighter palette unless it was colorful. And I do feel like all of these shades would show up on my skin tone as an actual highlight. I think that maybe the color, so they're not just white, will make them a lot more skin tone flattering than say like the Kat Von D one, because it all had a white base. I'm afraid that that probably wasn't as much flattering on deeper skin tones, and I think this might be more so. However, I have the Kat Von D Alchemist palette. I'll show you right now, in case you don't know what I'm talking about. Here it is. And guess what it has? A green, a purple, a pink, and a blue. So very similar shades. I do enjoy this palette, but I don't use it all the time. So I'm afraid that even though I like the idea of this, I probably wouldn't use it all the time. I think it might be a good alternative if you didn't get the Alchemist palette. And it's really cool that they're coming out with a highlighter palette for such an inexpensive price. But for me, it's also a no. Everything's been a no. Look at me. I'm so good. This is a yes, I think. This is a new primer from Benefit. I feel like Benefit's things get like so overlooked. Like people just aren't very excited about their makeup in general. So they've come out with the Porefessional primer that's also illuminating. Now I generally use 2 primers. I use a pore filling one in my T-zone area and then an illuminating one on the rest of my face. This is saying that it will fill your pores and smooth out your face, but also give you a little bit of shimmer. Which kind of seems like counterintuitive, because a lot of times like a glowy primer will actually enhance your pores, but this is saying it's going to do both. I love the Porefessional primer. It's actually one of my favorites. So if we can get 2 in 1 and it's about the same price, the original one is $30 or $31. I can't exactly remember. Yeah, I want that. I would like that. It's not out yet. This has been all over Instagram. It is by the brand Pinky Rose Cosmetics, and I said that this is not from the Dreamy website, this is from their website, or their Instagram page themselves. And what we have is a rainbow palette. So it's all a bunch of matte shades, and then we have 3 pressed glitters. This pink, this really pretty green, and then this like gorgeous like multi-tonal glitter. I'm very, very intrigued by this palette. They don't have a price yet, but most of their palettes are about $25. So if it's around the same price range, I'm going to go with yes. Also, this pink shade is called Becky. That's my name, so I like that. I love color. I love glitter. I'm really getting even more so into glitter than before, and I would like to know how these glitters work. They might be a total mess. I honestly can't tell you, but I like the idea of it, and I would like to try it. That one looks so pretty to me. It looks like a birthday party in a pan, which may be why it's called Cupcake. This pink one is beautiful as well, and then that green one. It just looks like a really unique, fun palette. Ooh. And I'm intrigued, and I would like to buy it. Next, another one that I do not believe has been named. That's not really good English. I don't believe they've named the price of this. It's by Kat Von D. I have quite a few Kat Von D eyeshadows, and I really enjoy them. This is the On Fire palette, and it's a collaboration with Divine, who's a very famous drag queen. I did check that, if we're being honest. I'm not trying to be like, oh, look at me, I'm so well known. I was thinking she was a drag queen, but I wasn't positive, so I Googled. She's a drag queen. And these shades are a very unique collection. Here we are. We have some blues. We have a neon green. This blue right here has a really ultra metallic looking finish. We've got a black, kind of a champagne. This looks like a shimmery black. I'm not usually a big fan of those, if we're being honest. A shimmery neon green, a white, and then we've got Hairspray. Hairspray, look at that finish. What is that? I don't know, but I would like to. Honestly, I love this blue, but I have some blues like that. I have some blues like that. And if we're being honest, I probably have some greens like that. I think the deciding factor for me for this palette is going to be, what is this Hairspray? What exactly does that look like? If it looks amazing, I'll probably buy this palette. But for now, I'm going to say no. But this is also going to be one that I want to swatch in stores and really get to play with. This is a new eyeshadow palette from the Balm Cosmetics. I feel like people don't really talk about the Balm either. I have one of their eyeshadow palettes, and I very much enjoy it. I have the Balm Jovi palette. They're very creamy, very blendable, and very pigmented. So we have the Daily Press, and it's kind of like a superhero themed. And if you look at the back, I'm assuming this is their outer packaging. It's actually a woman, which is cool. Girl power, you know, we're about that. I work in a very male-dominated field. And the names are things like Cahoots, Busted, Red-Handed, Captured, Locked Up, Seized. So that's cool. There's the shadow shades themselves. You probably already know what I'm going to say about it. Not an inspiring color selection. It's just not. It's a bunch of shimmers. We've got 8 shimmers and 4 mattes from the look of it. You do have enough mattes that I feel like you could really round out a look. I definitely feel like you could get quite a few looks out of this palette. But none of those shimmers really excite me. If we're just being honest, they just don't. I'm not saying they're going to be bad quality. I'm just saying that I probably have 6 or 7, more like 20 of each of these eyeshadows already in my collection. So I'm going to say no for this one. This is the last one. And it's by Violet Voss. I would love to try a Violet Voss palette. I really would. I've heard nothing but great things. This is her brand new, is it Dope Taupe? Taupe Notch. Y'all, it's all browns. I mentioned, again, in that video that I recently posted of makeup I will never buy, that I am not for these eyeshadow palettes that are a bunch of the same repeated shades with the weensy-beansiest bit of different that more than likely on your eyeball is going to look the same thing. I'm not about that. I feel like it's a waste of space and money. And that's what this is. And not only is it just a bunch of super similar shades, they're all brown. Do you really need, was that 20? Yeah. Do you really need 20 shades of brown? Now, let me say, maybe you're a girl that's like, or a boy, whatever, that's like, alright, I'm a neutral eyeshadow person. I will never ever in 10 million years use a color on my eyeshadow. It's not what I do. I want a light, like a champagne or brown or something along those lines. Well, then maybe this palette is for you and you are super pumped. And that is awesome. 27 points for you. I'm not that gal. I am the gal that's like, cool, now where's my color? Where's my fun? Where's something that can make it a little bit different? I love taking a colorful eyeshadow look and giving a more neutral look, but this is just not exciting to me. It does not make me excited. It does not make me be like, wow, I want to use this. I want to play with this. So no, I will not be buying it. So that is my will I buy it for this month, or for this today. Let me know your thoughts. Do you want me to do it once a week? Do you want me to just kind of see whenever I get enough and then do one? And please, please let me know. You can either leave me a comment down below or tag me on an Instagram post if there's something you want to hear me talk about in this series, especially if it's something that's not featured on Trend Mood, because honestly a lot of my beauty news does come from Trend Mood, and as much as I would like to be able to explore other avenues, at this moment in my life with my schedule, I really can't. Trend Mood is like kind of my one-stop shop, but if you know of a brand or something coming out and it's not been featured on Trend Mood, please let me know. So yeah, all in all, there's some cool things coming out. Let's see what happens. Let's see what I actually end up buying. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really and truly do. As always, please leave me any questions, requests, suggestions, comments down in the description box below. If you know me, then you know that talking to you is absolutely positively one of my very favorite parts of doing YouTube. So don't hesitate to ever say anything unless you're being hateful. Nobody needs to be hateful, but do what you want, you know. And yeah, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you all real soon. Bye.